Hello everybody, this is Kelly Callaghan with Spray Tan Class. Thank you guys so much for choosing us to help you with your spray tan training needs. This is going to be a short step-by-step tutorial showing you exactly what I do to help my clients get a flawless, perfect glow. See you guys soon! The first step to becoming a spray tanning guru is making sure you prep your client appropriately. Get a hairnet and place it over your client's hair, behind the hairline, making sure that her ears are out. This is going to ensure that there is no tan line on her forehead. Then go ahead and grab barrier cream and place a little bit on her palm so that way she can go ahead and distribute it throughout her palm evenly. Get each individual nail and each individual toenail as well. This is going to ensure that the toenail or fingernail does not get discolored. Once she's done with that, have her place a little bit of the barrier cream on the heels and the elbows and the knees. Once she is done placing the barrier cream on the appropriate places, you can go ahead and spray her with pH balancer. This spray is going to be misted throughout the entire body, including her face. Just make sure that she closes her eyes and holds her breath while you spray her face. Have the client turn around and go ahead and do the back the same way. The spray will actually allow for the tan to be more even as the acidity levels are being balanced with this spray. This is where the fun starts. I usually start at the very top left shoulder, going down all the way to the waistline. Continue on right underneath the clavicle bone to the waistline, and to the opposite side of the torso to the waistline. And this is the motion that I make when I dry the client. Now we'll continue on to the left arm. I apply the mist at the shoulder, going down all the way to the wrist, missing the hand. Don't worry about the hand right now, we'll get that at the very end. Now I gently flip over the arm. And I usually do a lighter coat on this area just because that's what a natural tan looks like. Do the same thing to the other side of the arm. And just as a tip, make sure that the hand is faced away from you and that the creases of the wrist are showing. Moving on to the legs, I apply a coat on the outside of the leg, the front of the leg, and the inside of the leg. Make sure during this process you don't spray the foot and that you don't oversaturate the ankle or the heel area, as those tend to hold the tan very well. Have your client position her leg outwards so that way you can get the inside of the leg and dry. And after you're done drying, go ahead and have her place the other leg outwards as well so you can continue spraying from the inside of the leg. You're going to go ahead and spray the outside of the leg, the front of the leg, and then the outer part of the leg. It's important to dry after each coat to ensure less stickiness or tackiness for your client. Now we're going to move on to the back. Make sure that your client's hands are positioned away from you, or they can be placed so that way they are facing the floor as such. We're going to start from her right side of the back, from her shoulder all the way down to her waist again, getting the middle section of the back, and then the left part of the back. Go ahead and dry your client, so again that will reduce the stickiness, and don't forget to get the back of her neck. Once you're done drying, go ahead and start getting the back of the arms by starting at the shoulder down to the wrist, doing the same motion for the other arm. And please remember not to oversaturate the wrist area with solution, as those areas tend to hold the solution very well, so you don't want to make it too dark or even orange for your client. Now we're going to get the back of the legs, going from the outside of the leg to the back of the leg to the inside part of the leg. It's important to have your client step about a foot or 2 feet apart to ensure that you're getting the inside of the leg as much as you need to. Once you're done with that, you can dry and move on to the next leg. The inner leg, the back of the leg, and the outer leg. It's important to have your client bend at their knees or bend forward so you can get the smiley lines. And what you're going to do is just gently do one spray on each side, dry as best as possible so that way your client isn't uncomfortable or sticky in those areas, and just continue drying throughout the process. Have your client stand and we're ready to do the side. Now this is where things get a little different. We're going to do what's called a Y pattern. You're going to start spraying on both of these sides right here all the way down to the waist, like so. During this process, you will miss the armpit completely, so that way the armpit doesn't get too dark. And you're going to go all the way down the body, missing the ankle. Same thing on this side, right above the boob and the top of the back, all the way down to the waist and down to the ankle. I always save the hands and the feet for last. Make sure your client does what's called a bear claw position, so that way you're getting inside every crevice of the wrinkles on the hand. And stay about 2 feet away from your client when you're spraying. You're going to spray an X on each hand, then move on to the feet and spray an X on each foot. Think of these areas as more of a mist than a direct spray. Now we're going to move on to the neck. Have your client look all the way up, and this is the only part you're actually going to go upwards. From the clavicle bone, about 2 feet away, spray a light spray. Make sure your client closes their eyes, holds their breath, and I usually count to 3 so they know when I'm going to spray. Then I do one pass from the side of the face, one pass on the front of the face, and then one pass on the other side of the face. Now that we're done with the spray tanning process, go ahead and unhook your gun and use your hose to dry the client as best as possible. Depending on what kind of solution you use, some are a lot stickier than others, so it's really important that you dry as best as possible so that your client is comfortable when they leave you. Now it's time to perfect the tan. Grab a wet nap and wipe the entire palm, including each finger, and make sure to get the wrist. Again, this is an area that tends to hold the tan very well, and we don't want it to be too dark or even orange for our client. Once you get the palms, get each individual nail. We're going to do a similar process to the feet. Get each individual toenail, the back of the heel, the side of the feet lightly with the wet nap. This is going to ensure for a beautiful, flawless, even glow, which is exactly what we're going for. Again, I want to thank you guys so much for choosing our course to help you through your journey as a spray tanning technician. I know it can be a little daunting at first, but please reach out to me with any questions that you may have. I would love to help you out with any clarifications on anything from this video or the manual. Thanks, guys.